Greetings, Stash Wyslouch here. Welcome to Quick Tips. Become a patron on my Patreon page to support the making of these videos. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the like button, leave me a comment below, and let's get into some good music now. Today's quick tip. Today I want to loosely prove to you that any dominant chord can resolve anywhere. So check out this one motion. Deep River Blues. That's a one chord going to a one diminished back to a one chord. A to A diminished back to A. Let it rain, let it pour, let it rain. Sounds good, sounds consonant, it's classic. Now if you go back to quick tip 106, we proved that a diminished chord could stand in place of 4 corresponding 7th chords. Don't know what I'm talking about? Check out quick tip 106. So the equivalence we're making here, for example, is an A diminished, can also be an A flat 7, a B7, a D7, and an F7. So by this logic, A diminished back to an A could be replaced by A flat 7 back to an A, B7 back to A, D7 back to A, F7 back to A. Interesting. So this A flat or G sharp 7 could be thought of as a 7-7. This B7 in relation to the A, where it's resolving to, could be thought of as a 2-7. This D7 in relation to A could be thought of as a 4-7, and this F7 could be thought of as a flat 6-7. Well, that's interesting. Let's keep going. In recent quick tips, we talked a lot about this motion of flat 3 diminished going to a 2 chord. So for example, an E flat diminished going to a 2 minor chord, a D minor. Now if we just suspend disbelief for a second, we could think of that D minor as being a 1 chord. So we're kind of going a flat 2 diminished to a 1 chord. Interesting. An E flat diminished can stand for an A flat 7, a B7, a D7, and an F7. Now, if we're calling D minor the 1, the A flat 7 in relation to that would be the flat 5-7. The B7 would be the 6-7. The D7 would be the 1-7. And the F7 would be the flat 3-7. So now, with this loose equivalence, we're saying that a flat 5-7 can resolve to a 1, a 6-7 can resolve to a 1, a 1-7 can resolve to itself, a 1, and a flat 3-7 could resolve back to a 1. That's kind of interesting. So now we've got 8 separate dominant chords as they relate back to the 1 chord that by our loose logic could resolve properly. Our last situation is what we've already actually discussed in quick tip 106. And that, for example, is an F diminished that resolves to an F sharp minor. That F diminished stands for a D flat 7, E7, G7, and B flat 7. A D flat 7 in relation to an F sharp minor is just a 5-7. It could also be called a C sharp 7. An E7 is a flat 7-7. A G7 is a flat 2-7. And a B flat 7 is a 3-7. So now we've got all these relationships going back to a 1. Every single dominant chord through this loose, transitive, diminished logic can resolve anywhere. That's amazing. Maybe we'll expand on this in future quick tips. Hope this gets your mind going a little bit. We'll see you next time. Make sure to become a patron on my Patreon page for follow-up PDFs and workshops. And of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that like button.